And that is done. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, what is that? And what this was several great lessons we can learn from the past, but it's a phone nook. Yeah, I know these aren't exactly all the rage these days, but way back when people had landlines, the telephone was stationary. So you needed a place to put your telephone. And a lot of people would have a special stand that they set it on, or the end table, desk, whatever. But a lot of people would also have a special shelf built into a wall, which is what this is going to be. It's just framed out right now. But this will be a phone nook, so a shelf dedicated for a telephone. And they would keep their telephone there along with the telephone book. Well, I know landlines aren't exactly in style these days. We've all got these. But I still need a place to charge this on occasion. So I thought it would be really nice to have a dedicated power outlet right here, and then a charging cable coming out. This will be finished with some nice pretty wood and stuff like that. All of this will be hidden. And then I'll just have a power cable coming out of the side here that I can walk over at any time and plug in my phone and charge it. And I'll have a separate cable in here for Mrs. Rivers. She's got an iPhone, I've got an Android. So no more walking around looking for charging cables and little power cubes. And almost all of us, okay, we charge our phones overnight, but during the day, if we need to charge our phone, we've got a place we go to charge our phone. All right, and generally the only reason we go to that spot is because there's an outlet that's convenient to get to there. That's why we use that spot. Okay, well, lessons from the past. They weren't afraid to customize their homes to fit their needs. And I don't know why we got away from that. I think there's several reasons. I think confidence is part of this. Okay, for us to put something permanent in place, we've got to be confident that that's what we really want. Okay, and what we've gone to is modularity. Okay, so we want things that are modular, that we can adjust to fit our needs. The thing is, though, once we've got a modular shelf, we set it to where we want it, and then that's it. It generally doesn't ever change from then on until it falls apart, because modular things generally aren't made very well. Okay, well, this will be here from now on. Okay, and that's the great thing about things being built in, things being permanent, things not being modular. And then when we go customizing our homes, we're making our homes work for us and our lifestyles. Okay, I think that's such a better way to live. Not constantly buying things and then making our homes work for us. And so many of us now, we don't even think about customization. We just, again, we go buy whatever, use it till it breaks, we throw it away, get another one. Okay, well, I'm trying real hard not to do that anymore. And with homes being so expensive now, so many of us, when we do get a home, we're going to be there a really long time. Well, life's short. Let's make our homes fit us and our lifestyle. Okay, so I thought that'd be a great thing to talk about today. And another lesson from the past. We don't know much about it. And in this case, I knew what a phone nook was. I thought, okay, that'd be perfect here for this need. Well, that's why we should try to learn about the past. And I don't mean history. History is important, but that's the really big events. I mean, just how did people live? How did they build their houses like they did? Or why did they build their houses like they did? Why did they have the things that they did? Because now we've gotten so caught up in the technical, the digital, that we forget about the real world, just brick and mortar stuff. That's what our homes are. Okay, so let's take a look at another little customization thing that I decided to add. This is the bathroom, and specifically where I'm standing right now is going to be the toilet. I just put this knee wall in, and the reason for this knee wall, well, there's several reasons. Double vanities going right here. Okay, so this will be a defined ending to the vanity, so visually it's just going to look good. But this also gives me another place to have little built-in cabinets and dedicated places for things, like the toilet paper roll. I'll have that recessed right here. And we all have toilet paper holders. Why not have them recessed in a custom spot for it, instead of just something just tacked to a wall somewhere? Okay, and then I'll have a little cabinet door at the bottom, and then that's where the plunger goes and the toilet brush for cleaning it. And what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of any clutter from around the toilet, so that when we go to mop and clean up in here, there's nothing to move, there's nothing in the way. It's really simple, and it's just a clean, organized area. This is the living room, and this was challenging just from an aesthetic standpoint, what to do with this. And I've talked about this in past videos, but we've got an old vent chimney here, so actual brick and mortar, and then it's not a fireplace. This is where the old heating stove vented, and it's a double barrel chimney. So the heating stove in the living room vented here, and then the cook stove, wood stove, and the kitchen on the other side vented on this side. Okay, so this is offset to one side on the chimney. And I was struggling with how to make this look good. Okay, well, what I finally came up with is I've got it framed out around this, and then I'll sheetrock all of this. This is going to stay here. I'll pull off the little bit of mortar and sheetrock that's on it, and then I'll put tile here. And by framing it this way, this will be centered on this little wall. It'll look good visually. I could even put a mantle across here if I wanted to. But then that leaves me with this area over here, because the chimneys, all of it's in the living room here. All right, so that creates an offset here. And I thought, well, this would be a perfect place to have built-in bookcases about this high. Put the TV up high here, built-in bookcases, and then have electrical lines through here. So I've got an outlet in the back down here for surround sound, that type stuff that will actually sit inside the bookcase, and an electrical outlet up here for the TV, and then whatever wires for it. So that actually, I think it's going to look really nice, and it's going to be really functional, and that's getting right back to having the custom built-in bookcases and that type of thing. And this is why I wanted to show all of this while it was framed up and not finished. All right, this area right here, this is the phone nook where we started. This is the other side of that wall. This is a bedroom we're in, and this is a closet opening. This is the closet. When I did the framing for this, I ran into some challenges. Okay, right here, this is the return unit for the central air. This house has never had central air, so I had to have a place for the filter to go. That's it. Well, to make this wide enough for the filter, I had to build this wall here and move it out. We had the existing wall where the phone nook is. All right, and I could have just ran it straight across and put the door opening for the closet there. But then when it ran into the other wall, it wouldn't have been wide enough for the return on the central air. So I added a second wall here. I could have just moved the closet out and had a little cut back here, and then it ran into this wall. But I just wanted a nice, straight, clean look in this bedroom. So I built a second wall here. This is called a false wall. And then by having a false wall, that's what let me put the cutout for the phone nook in here. All right, now there's different ways to do a phone nook, and you don't have to have a false wall. But that just worked out perfect. Where the phone nook's at, it's no longer structural. It never was structural. This is just a interior partition wall. And same for the wall I added. This is just to close off the closet. Okay, it was a challenge to start with. What do I do with this spot for the closet? But here's the big lesson from all of this. With challenges come opportunities. If I hadn't had to put this second wall in here, which created a false wall where the phone nook is, and I could have just ripped this wall out where the phone nook is, and then the kitchen come out to this one. But I thought, that's just such a wasted opportunity if I don't do something with this. So that's the phone nook. Okay, and that's every house. All right, new or old. We've got things that are challenging in their houses, especially older homes. But well, those challenges all present unique opportunities for us to do different things. And I thought it's also useful just to show the framing for this, because the framing's normally hid behind all of the sheetrock and we just don't get to see it. So we're very hesitant to start tearing into walls and trying things. Well, once we learn how a house is constructed, we can identify, okay, that's a load-bearing wall, this is just a partition wall. Then we can start coming up with some ideas on things we can do just for our homes, little simple things to customize. Okay, the phone nook, it's pretty wide. All right, but for just a regular interior wall, insulation's not an issue. You can cut out between studs and then have a little recess here. It's only going to be 3.5 inches deep, but then you can have a little shelf at the bottom that sticks out a little bit. So, you know, a little 4-inch shelf at the bottom. It's just an idea for something you may have for your home. I hope by showing what I'm doing here with my house will inspire some of you to want to customize your home, to make it yours, to reflect your personality, to make it a place you want to be. And this is something me and Mrs. River talked about years ago. She would always say, I need to get away from here. I need to go on vacation and go somewhere. Well, I told her, I didn't think like that. My thinking was home should be a place I want to escape to, not from. And if I feel like I need to escape from it, I'm doing something wrong. All right, well, I'm hoping all of you, your homes is a place you want to escape to. And customizing a home, that's what we're doing, is creating our space. All right, now I do want to offer a warning here. A lot of people, a lot of you are worried about, okay, if I start doing things to my house, I could make it look bad. You can, quickly. And the biggest way to do that is not to understand the architectural style of your house. Okay, this house here, this is a craftsman style house. These were popular in the early 1900s. They peaked in the 1920s. All right, I added additions to this to increase the size of it, but this has always and will always be a craftsman style house, and an old house at that. All right, everything I just described here fits perfectly with this house within this style. Built-in bookcases, that's really popular with craftsman style homes. The phone nook. All right, is that not 1920s and 30s there? Okay, so when I get done with this house, if I stay within this style, it's probably going to look pretty good. But if I all of a sudden decide, okay, I want this to look ultra modern, I'm going to go with stainless steel surfaces and really clean lines and mirrors and reflective things and a modern house. Okay, that probably wouldn't work here in this home. Again, this is an old home and it was designed with a particular style. All right, so do some research on the style home you have. If it's a newer home, it might not even have a defined style. But see if you can figure out what it is. And within every community just about, there's old historic homes that we can go tour. Go tour one of the old historic homes and just see, okay, what did they do there? Did they have little things like this? I think that will inspire you. And everything I just talked about that I'm doing, I didn't think of any of this. People had already thought of this in the past. I've just seen enough examples of older homes, especially craftsman style homes, that inspired me to want to incorporate things like this. God bless and have a great day.